guys, it's Dave Mack at Storm Motorcycles. I did promise you a few videos on some service items on the VTR. I've just done an oil change and somebody's just brought my camera down for me, so it's going to be a bit of a retrospective look. So the oil change has been done, but I'm going to take you guys through, not teaching it to suck eggs, but it is something you can save a bit of money on, save it taking down a workshop and paying someone else to do quite a simple job that you could do yourself with a few basic tools. You're going to need something to drain the oil into. You're going to need a new filter, 4 litre drum of oil, because you're going to take about 3.9 litres to refill it, 5mm Allen key, 10mm and a 12mm socket, probably a little extension bar and a wrench. Mine weren't too bad to get off because I did them myself last time, so I know they weren't torqued or over torqued last time, so there shouldn't have been too much hassle to get off, and they weren't. So if I can get the camera set up for you so you can see, you're going to want to take the belly pan off first to get access to the oil filter. That's going to be your 5mm Allen key into this bolt here. You've got at the front of the belly pan, in this scoop just to the right of the oil filter, if you look from the front of the bike, that is a 10mm socket, which is what I want the extension bar for. I'd say these bolts have already been out, so I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes so you guys get an idea. Shouldn't be over tightened. Bolts like this probably looking at about 10-12 Newton meters, so no more than just over hand tight, if that. Belly pan out. Keep your nuts and bolts so you don't lose them. Oil filters on the front, don't want to touch that yet. I will say you want to warm the bike up first, only for 2 or 3 minutes, 5 at most, just get the oil nice and warm, and that will run out of the sump plug a little bit easier. So if I take you around the other side, a few bikes in the workshop at the moment. I'm lucky that I've got a friend of mine who's got the workshop, so I've got access. Unfortunately the ramps are tied up today, so I'm about to do this on the floor, but it is a simple job. So back end of the sump, there is a bolt just here. That's your sump bolt, it's your drain bolt, 12mm socket. Take that out, make sure you've got your catch tray either angled up or it's deep enough, or you've got the bike raised enough, because it's going to shoot out about 6-10 inches and it catches everybody out, including me a couple of times when I've done it. Let that drain out. While you're doing that, on the other side of the bike, just release the filler valve while that's draining, because there will be a slight vacuum and it can just let a little bit more oil drain out, which is what you want, because the crud you're taking out is all the stuff that's been running around your engine, and the more you can get out, the less that's going to stay in there and the less damage you're going to do over the long run. So once you've got that drained and it's down to a mere drip, you should, if nobody's butchered it on there before, this should just be hand tight, anti-clockwise. Take it off again, keep your drain tray under this, because there will be residue comes out. There'll be a load in the filter and there'll be a load at this end of the sump that will come out. You don't want it all over your workshop floor. Once that's done, you want to get your new filter out the box. I've got the old one for demonstration purposes. Tatty and horrible because it's been on there about 5,000-6,000 miles all the way through the winter. You want to dip your finger in your new oil, run it round this seal, just coat it. Inside, little funnel, or if you're good with your hand and nice and steady, about 1/3 of the way full, maybe half of the way full with fresh oil. Get a cloth under there, get that up on there and tighten it back up. Hand tight, guys, no need to mince it on there, just nice and hand tight. Once that's back in, you want to replace your sump plug on the other side, preferably with a new washer. Make sure that is torqued, I believe, and somebody will probably correct me on the VTR website, but off the top of my head I think that is 12 Newton meter on the drain bolt. Certainly don't want to go over tightening it because it would be an absolute bitch to get off next time. And then here's your filling point. Again, I'm not teaching you to suck eggs, but if it's your first time doing a bit of work on a bike, this is your fill point. Undo this. Honda's manual suggests 3.9 litres to refill if you've done a filter change at the same time, which you should be doing ideally. Mine's taken probably just over that, just under 4 litres. It will depend if you've managed to drain it fully. Might take slightly less, but again guys, let it drip, let it drain. You don't want any of that crud stuck in your engine. Items to go back on then, obviously belly pan in the reverse order. And that guys, once you've got the bike tight and you're happy with the drain bolt, with the filter and the filler plug done up, run the bike. Have a look, check the filter and the drain plug for any oil coming out. Easiest way to do that, just clean them off, clean it up with a cloth, run the bike, start it up, fire it up, let it do its thing and get warm, and just check for any leaks. But that is a simple job. You can save yourself a bit of money down at your local workshop. Cheers for listening guys, and we'll catch you next time with another service item on the VTR. Cheers.